Good evening, everybody. It is Monday, October 16th, 2023. It is time for the Liquor Control Commission for Wheeling. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Brady, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kruger, Lang, and Vogel are absent with prior notice. Commissioner Papantos?
Present.
Commissioner Vito?
Here.
Commissioner Raffato?
Here.
Chairperson Horker?
Here. Citizens' concerns or comments?
Not today. 6A, consideration of request for a Class L liquor license from Airshare for an event to be held at Atlantic Aviation at 1011 South Wolf Road on November 8th, 2023, and for events on 2 unspecified later dates.
Mr. Spondilis.
Thank you. Before you this evening is a request from Airshare, a tenant of Atlantic Aviation, who is looking to host a promotional event to be held at Atlantic Aviation's facility at Chicago Executive Airport on Wednesday, November 8th. The applicant expects this private event to be attended by approximately 30 people. All alcoholic beverages will be served by members of the caterer's Bassett certified staff. And just a reminder, as the clerk indicated, this approval would allow for 2 additional events throughout the remainder of the year. And should the commission wish to move forward, I would ask that any approvals be made with the following condition: payment of all applicable fees.
Questions or comments from Commissioner Raffato?
Just a question. You said calendar year, so is it just till the end of this year, or?
Right. It runs calendar year.
Okay, thank you.
If there are no questions for the petitioner, I would ask for a motion to approve.
So moved with condition.
Trustee Commissioner Papantos, second by Commissioner Raffato. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Raffato?
Yes.
Commissioner Papantos?
Yes.
Chairperson Horker?
Yes. Number D.
6B, motion to declare the Class A liquor license held by Buca Restaurants 2, Inc., doing business as Buca de Beppo, to be forfeited and lapsed.
Mr. Spondilis.
Thank you. This is simply a declaration of forfeiture due to the license holder, Buca de Beppo, having closed their business on August 20th. This declaration will enable the village board to remove the authorization of that license from the municipal code.
Questions or comments? None.
So moved.
Motion, Commissioner Raffato, second.
Second.
Commissioner Papantos, roll call.
Commissioner Raffato?
Yes.
Commissioner Papantos?
Yes.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Chairperson Horker?
Yes. Need a motion to adjourn the Liquor Control Commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Papantos, second. Second. Commissioner Vito, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Liquor Control Commission adjourned. I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Village of Wheeling for October 16th. Clerk Brady.
Hold on one second, let me start this.
Sorry, I go a little too fast there.
Yeah, computers don't work that fast. All right. Okay.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Kruger, Lang, and Vogel are absent with prior notice. Trustee Papantos.
Present.
Trustee Vito.
Here.
Trustee Raffato.
Here.
President Horker.
Here. You have before you the minutes of the joint meeting of August 23rd, 2023. I need a motion for their approval.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Raffato, roll call.
Trustee Papantos.
Yes.
Trustee Vito.
Yes.
Trustee Raffato.
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes, you also have before you the minutes of the regular meeting of September 18th. I need a motion for their approval.
So moved.
Trustee Raffato, second.
Second.
Trustee Papantos, roll call.
Trustee Vito.
Yes.
Trustee Raffato.
Yes.
Trustee Papantos.
Yes.
President Horker.
Yes, changes to the agenda. I would like to remove item 13B from the agenda. Do I need a motion for that?
Yes. So moved.
Motion trustee Rufato, second.
Second.
Trustee Papantos, roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger, sorry. Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes. This brings us to you, Clerk Brady.
Yep. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2023. Whereas domestic violence continues to be a prevalent problem in Illinois and nationwide, and whereas the problem of the domestic violence affects all Illinois citizens, being not confined to any group of people, but crossing all economic, genders, racial, and societal barriers. Exacerbated by society indifference, and whereas the crime of domestic violence, the privacy, dignity, security, and humanity of individuals through systematic physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economical controls and/or abuse, and whereas the impact of domestic violence in wide range directly affects families, children, and society as a whole. And whereas according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men become victims of physical violence by an intimate partner. And whereas on a typical day, domestic violence hotlines receive approximately 19,159 calls, on average of approximately 13 calls per minute. And whereas residents are encouraged to learn more about the National Coalition Adjustment Domestic Violence Campaign to take a stand against domestic violence and to seek out local educational information and resources are available at www.ncadv.org. And whereas it is fitting to set aside a special time to bring this issue to the attention of the residents of the Village of Wheeling, so we can all become better informed and involved in local programs to end the cycle of violence. Patrick Horker, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim the month of October 2023 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the Village of Wheeling, and encourage our residents to join with the Northwest Suburban Alliance on Domestic Violence Law Enforcement, social service organizations, and concerned citizens across the country to help raise the public awareness of domestic violence issues.
Thank you, Clerk Brady. Citizen concerns, comments.
Yes. Members of the public may address the board with comments regarding issues relevant to village business. No citizen shall speak for more than 5 minutes without consent of the board. Members of the general public who wish to address the board must sign the request to speak form prior to the commencement of the public meeting. Mike Poots.
Just as a reminder, this is a time for citizens to make their comments and express concerns, and for the board to listen. Neither the board nor the staff will be answering questions. Mr. Poots.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is easy. I wouldn't describe my job as easy, but I would describe this as easy, and that's because I look around at the trustees and I look around the room and I see a lot of friends. And having a lot of friends in your village makes your job easy. So thank you for that. I have lived in Wheeling since 1999, and now I run our local Chamber of Commerce, and that's what I'm here to address tonight. And by the way, I do want to mention having mentors help, and every time you get a chance to thank them, thank them. So Mr. Rosen, thank you. An effective Chamber of Commerce is good for its businesses, and it's good for its village. An effective village is good for its Chamber of Commerce. And it's nice when all of your motivational arrows are pointing in the same direction. So that's what makes this easy. Chambers of Commerce have evolved out of necessity. So what is the new version? And I'm not going to bore you with all of the details because one of the things the Chamber does is come out with our community directories, which you have recently received. There's a nice article in here about how our Chamber has changed over the last year and a half, so check that out. We are a community of businesses, and we have 3 focuses. We provide, and I'm doing these opposite of how I normally do them, but we provide educational resources. Just recently, we were a Cook County Source Program advisor, and from that program resulted 16 applications for grants that will either be for $10,000 or $20,000 apiece. So that was a nice impact on our local business community. We make connections, whether it's something as small as bringing Wheeling High School students to assist and get credit for working at the Taste of the Town, or whether it's something as big as bringing the Illinois Association of Chamber of Commerce executives to a conference which will be held at the Hilton in November. That Wednesday evening, we will be hosting 100 directors at District Brewyard, so it's nice economic development for the village as well. Lastly, and this brings me to my main point, our activities. Wednesday night, we are hosting the Taste of the Town. You can visit us at taste60090.com or tastewheeling.com. Not too late to get tickets. We have 25 restaurants lined up, live entertainment, incredible raffle prizes, including Bulls tickets, Cubs tickets, a sightseeing tour of Chicago, and many, many more. So register and come out for the Taste of the Town. It boosts our local restaurants and watering holes. And lets you meet the restaurant owners. We have a new restaurant in town called Heaven's Barbecue on Earth. Come out and meet our own Mr. Jordan. You won't regret it. And it's a nice boost for our park district as well. We use the grand ballroom of Chevy Chase, and we'll bring about 400 of our closest friends and neighbors out. But it would not be possible without the support of the village, and I wanted to make a point of coming out here one night and thanking you all for your support and saying it's a pleasure to do my job. It's a pleasure to work with you all. Thank you very much. We'll see you all Wednesday night.
Thank you, Mr. Boots.
Eric Vaquar. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend or having a great Monday. My name is Eric Vaquero. I am a resident here of Wheeling. I live on Valley Stream Drive. Been here, well, I'm 25 years old, grew up my whole life. So I just wanted to give that little bit of introduction because I think it's important to know your neighbors. Really proud to be a product of Wheeling from Field, London, Wheeling High School, living on 1st Street off Dundee, and Capri Terrace off Wolf, and then currently on Valley Stream Drive. But so I wanted to do 2 things today, and if I have enough time, a third one. One, I wanted to praise the board and the village government for the sort of growth and direction of Wheeling. And then I also wanted to raise a concern that I have with, as related to housing and affordable housing. As you know, we have a lot of development going on right now, which I think is overall really great. But on the note of praise, I think it's really fantastic to see that the city is continuing to grow, that we have so much development going on. I love being able to access, Heritage Park, to see Chillerley Park developed, for my neighbors, nieces, nephews. And that being said, with all the new development that's going on, and as someone who is, reaching 25, I'm thinking about raising a family, or starting a family, getting married, maybe finding a home. The issue of housing and affordable housing is something that's front of mind, and that I want to bring to the front of mind of the board. There is some great construction, whether it be here, like at it's called One Wheeling, or even across the street. And if I'm not mistaken, there's new development going on in the Prairie Park area. But the point I want to get to is that touching on like the current citizens and the median income of the current household, which is about 72,000. And the new housing that we're seeing, I think, although it's great, it seems to be not in consideration of the current population. And although I think it's great to include that diversity and bring in people of higher incomes with different backgrounds, I think it's also important to make sure we have in mind the average household that is here today. So I'd like to bring front of mind that you take into consideration that with future decisions regarding to any new development. And I think there's plenty of good examples that reflect that you can encourage development while also putting in place the consideration of affordable housing for the median income here in Wheeling. And I just want to give some numbers just to really touch on that. So if you look at really any financial advisor, but if you look at CNBC, for example, they say that the affordable housing or how much should be spent is really only 30% of gross income. And if we're taking into consideration about 75,000 as the median household income, that spending should only be around 1,800, 1,900, and a lot of the housing, whether the apartments or the townhomes we're seeing, are ranging between $2,000 and up to $4,000, which is quite out of range of the median household today of Wheeling. So I'd really encourage you to consider that in your future decisions. And that's the note on that. There's one more thing I want to talk about is public transit, since I know we've been centering our growth around this area, which is near the station. So I continue to live here in Wheeling while I went to the University of Chicago to get my degree. And to this day, I live here as I continue to work in the Loop in Chicago. So although I know it's not really totally in the control of the board here, it's a really big issue. There has been service cuts over the past years to the Wheeling station, as I'm sure you know. The last train ends at 6. They become less frequent. So I ask of you if you can spend any time or resources to see if we can increase that, as I know it's become central to the new development here in Wheeling. I think that'd be fantastic, for the future of Wheeling, and I think I'd really appreciate it. So that's it. I guess I got that on my time.
Excellent timing, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Divot?
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Devitt, and I'm a 10-year resident of Wheeling. In that 10 years, I've noticed the aforementioned economic development that we've seen, and that's been great. And I know that is due in large part to the time and effort of the folks here, and also the Plan Commission, and of course, the Chamber of Commerce. So in my mind, I see this as a highly capable group that is focusing on their number one goal, which is economic development. On the website the other day for the board overview, I noticed 3 bullet points for the board to exercise responsible leadership. So first bullet point is critically examining and regularly reviewing policies, programs, and operations. The third one is generating public support for programs and services. And the second one I find most interesting is assuming the role of community opinion leaders. So I'm curious as to what those 3 bullet points mean to you all currently, but I'm even more curious as to what that could mean in the future. What kind of open mindset, what kind of questions can we be asking, what kind of things can we be thinking about? So I'll circle back to that, but that's kind of the seed I wanted to plant, is what could we be doing on public engagement, civic engagement, a more participatory democracy, things like that. So again, it's middle of October in 2023, and my comments and all the comments before me are happening at a seemingly unique moment in time. I was just reading about opinion polling shows that the average American has less faith in federal government than ever before. The number of people who said they're not at all or somewhat not represented in Washington is at an all-time high. And I doubt that Springfield would do much better. But when I see that we have highly capable, thoughtful, intelligent, the members of the board that I know, I think are very good faith actors and doing their best. And as we said, with economic development, we know you guys have the best interests of the community at heart. So I guess I'm wondering if we could get a little bit of that energy, a little bit of that focus going toward building a more participatory democracy. So I don't know what that is going to look like, but I see, again, a giant opportunity, and I see us as having a local strength. So can we somehow merge those two together to build something a little different? I don't know if the usual crowd is got something else going on tonight, or if this is a big crowd, but this does not reflect the most participatory democracy I could imagine. And I imagine if I was in your shoes, I would want more engagement, right? So how do we do that? I'm not, here with all the answers. I do have a couple of questions. And so I guess my previous statements, I'm just hoping you guys can keep these in mind when considering future issues. Maybe there's something that I imagine most of the talk is amongst yourselves, but is there something we could engage the public on before making a decision? Are there current groups that are involved? Maybe the Chamber of Commerce is one. Or maybe could we engage groups with seemingly disparate points of view to come together, find the common ground, talk out larger issues, right? And I don't know if there's something super hyper specific that we could work on, or if there's something larger and more of a national context that we could build. All right, the residents of Wheeling, after some deliberation, have decided this is a common ground agreement, and I don't know if the village can make a resolution or letter to the editor, open letter to our representatives or such. But even the public transportation, that's been something that's been on my mind before. Now, obviously, PACE is not just Wheeling focused, but if we could build more energy and enthusiasm around something that affects a lot of people's lives, now we're looking, go to Arlington Heights, to Buffalo Grove, see if we can find other like-minded people and kind of, right, even though things aren't specifically within our control, our circle of control, they're within our circle of influence. So that's just the kind of questions that I'm asking. And really, I don't know where to go with this other than it's been on my mind lately, and shame on me, I haven't been to one of your meetings in a couple of months. So thank you all for the time and effort, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir. Are we?
Oh, sorry, we're done.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for your comments. Staff reports. Mr. Kaup.
Thank you, President Horker. I was looking forward to telling you about a program that is shared by SWANK, not run by SWANK, the Solid Waste Agency of Northern Cook County, for an alternative way to dispose of pumpkins after the Halloween holiday. The program is put on by the School Community Assistance for Recycling and Composting Education, or SCARES, and the annual Pumpkin Smash is an effort from communities to divert pumpkins from landfills, which is, they're comprised mostly of water, which is good for the ground but not for our landfills. This started as an effort in 2014 between Elmhurst and Wheaton, has now spread to over 76 locations in Illinois, and if anybody's interested in participating in this way to compost your pumpkins, you could visit the site at www.scarce.org/pumpkins, and there's a list of local sites for you to take your pumpkin to compost, and they're all over the northwest suburbs, so you don't have to travel far to do so.
Thank you, sir. Chief McGreal.
Thank you, President Horker. The National Fire Protection Association, the official sponsor of Fire Prevention Week for more than 100 years, is focusing on cooking safety as its theme for this year's observance. Cooking safety starts with you. Pay attention to fire prevention is the theme for the 2023 Fire Prevention Week. And just a couple stats that U.S. fire departments responded to an estimated average of 158,000 kitchen fires, cooking fires annually. These fires caused an average of 470 civilian deaths, 4,180 reported civilian fire injuries annually. So one of the biggest issues is unattended cooking. So people walking away while they're cooking with oil or grease and walking away. And that caused most of the injuries and fatalities. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief McGreal. Chief Dunn.
Thank you, President Horker. Tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7:30, the Wheeling Police Department is proud to partner once again this year with the Bear family for the annual Arrest Cancer event at McDonald's, located at 188 East Dundee Road. It's a night of community support and dining, all for an incredibly important cause. At this event, 100% of the pie sales and 10% of dine-in and drive-through sales will generously be donated to Northwest Community Hospital Cancer Patient Assistance Fund. Expect a unique dining experience as our dedicated officers will be working the drive-through, serving food, bussing tables, and more. It's a chance to connect with your local law enforcement, your Wheeling officers in a relaxed and friendly setting, all the while contributing to a worthy cause. The Wheeling Police Unity Foundation will also be on hand selling Wheeling Police Department cancer awareness patches. I have them on my shoulders. Your purchase will directly benefit Northwest Community Hospital Cancer Patient Assistance Fund, helping individuals and families facing challenges of cancer. It's an event we do every year. We enjoy it. It's great interaction. And once again, during the month of October, our officers are wearing these patches to support those who are dealing with cancer now, those who've suffered from it and survived, and to help contribute money to find a cure. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Clerk Brady, we have the consent agenda, please.
Okay. Consent agenda. Consent agenda are all items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board member or citizen so request, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other agenda items. 11A, ordinance amending chapter 4.32 of the Village of Wheeling's Municipal Code, alcoholic liquor dealers, specifically section 4.32.085, to decrease the authorized number of Class A and increase authorized number of Class B-1-V liquor license. 11B, resolution authorizing acceptance of a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Illinois Department of Transportation, Sustained Traffic Enforcement Program STEP grant in the amount of $116,590 through federal fiscal year 2024. 11C, resolution authorizing the village president to execute a grant agreement in the amount of $105,997 regarding congruent meals provided by the Village of Wheeling. 11D, resolution ratifying the village manager execution of an agreement for executive recruitment services with GovHR USA in the amount not to exceed $32,000. 11E, resolution approving change order number 1 to the contract with Lavard Construction for aggregate material delivery and debris hauling in fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $33,000, increase the final contract amount from $54,200 to $87,200. 11F, resolution approving a second one-year renewal contract with Clean Cut Tree Services, Inc. for creek and waterway maintenance in the amount not to exceed $30,000 for fiscal year 2024. 11G, resolution approving a 3-year contract with H&H Electric Company for streetlight maintenance and repair services in the amount of $33,200. 11H, ordinance amending Title 12, Trees and Vegetation, Chapter 12.04.020, duty to maintain parkways of the village municipal code. 11I, resolution approving a contract with Graziano Sewer and Water, Inc. for the Northgate and Dundee Storm Sewer Project in the amount of $277,010 in fiscal year 2023. 11J, resolution approving a proposal for Gawalt Hamilton Associates, Inc. to provide construction engineering services for the Northgate and Dundee Storm Sewer Project in the amount not to exceed $33,000. 11K, resolution authorizing the village president and clerk to execute a plat of easement grant with H2O Express Car Wash, Inc. at 966 South Milwaukee Avenue. 11L, resolution authorizing the village president to sign an intergovernmental agreement between the Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways and the Village of Wheeling to appropriate funding the Invest in Cook grant towards the village's Phase 2 design of Wheeling Road.
If there are no questions or comments relative to the consent agenda, I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion, Trustee Rufato, second, Trustee Papantos. Roll call, please.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes.
New business.
There you go.
13A, ordinance granting special use approval for the operation of recreation and instruction facility at 286 West Palatine Road, Foxhole Training Systems, docket number PSU 23-0010.
Thank you, Clerk Brady. Mr. Clicker, what do we got?
Yes, as Clerk Brady said, this is for Foxhole Training Systems. They're seeking a special use approval to permit the operation of a recreational and instruction facility at 286 West Palatine Road, which is within the I-2 Limited Industrial and I-3 General Industrial zoning districts. This was heard at the September 13th Plan Commission hearing, and the Commission recommended approval of the request.
Trustee Papantos, is Mr. Perez here? Come on up, say hi. You have a question, Trustee Papantos?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Perez, and thank you for expanding into Wheeling. On your floor plan, room 7 shows weapon demonstration.
That was an old floor plan from what it used to be.
I was a little concerned, so there will not be weapons there.
Not at all.
Okay, it was there, so I had to ask, thank you.
Absolutely.
As long as you're there, are you sharing space with White Tiger or are you subleasing? Or?
Yes, the entire unit is actually split in half by a hallway.
Okay.
So the north end of the building will be all White Tiger, and the south end is going to be my training facility.
Excellent. Any other questions? If there are no questions, I'd be entertaining a motion to approve.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes. Good luck.
Thank you. Next steps?
I think you're done. Okay. Talk to Ross. He'll send you a business license or something. Okay, B has been removed. Official communications. Trustee Papantos and then Trustee Vito.
Thank you. To parlay on to what Chief Dunn said, these patches are available if you go online, if you can't make it to McDonald's tomorrow evening at Wheeling Police Unity Foundation .square. I obviously picked up mine. You can either put it on a credit card, but I'm sure they would prefer cash because that way they don't have the fees involved. And all profits do go to Northwest Community, the hospital's fund for cancer patient assistance, which means that it will help maybe not all Wheeling residents, but those residents and local residents who need the help either getting to their appointments. Having cancer is a big thing, you know, no matter how small. And from what I've read, 1 in 8 women will be affected by breast cancer, which means all of us know somebody who's either had it or has been, is gone through it. They could be a survivor, maybe not. So it's a worthwhile cause, and, you know, this is my second year, so please make sure you get that. And hope to see some of you at McDonald's tomorrow. It's quite a show with the police officers in their tutus serving pies. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. Trustee Vito?
Yeah, just to echo what Mike Poots was saying, the Taste of the Town is Wednesday. It's a great event if you've never been. It's basically, it's $35. It's unlimited food. There's alcohol vendors that are there. Munich's going to have beer. Cooper's Hawk's going to have wine. Liquor Barn's going to have some other stuff. Bob Chin's will have Mai Tais. Super Dog's there. I mean, every restaurant pretty much on Restaurant Row, and then a ton more. Sample after sample after sample. It's really good. We invest a lot here in building up Restaurant Row, and this is kind of a showcase for it. So if you can come out, please come out and enjoy that. If you stay to the end, stand by Super Dog, because they always have extra hot dog boxes with fries that they let you take. I think the most I've ever taken home is 5. So do that. They're really good. And Director Kaup, the Smashing Pumpkins thing, do you actually get to smash pumpkins, or you're just dropping them off?
Well, it's a drop off, but yeah, there's a big pile of smashed pumpkins. So
I see.
Have at it.
All right.
Actually,
Are we starting a rumor? Are the Smashing Pumpkins what? No? Just checking.
to add on to that, I think I brought this up last year, and thank you for mentioning it. I know in Arlington Heights, it's just north of the train tracks off of Arlington Heights Road. They've got these ramps that you can just throw your pumpkin down and it crashes into a big bin, and they are really smashing pumpkins there. And some of them have entertainment. I think Arlington Heights does a little entertainment during the week, during that day.
Excellent. I have nothing. It's been a few weeks since we've all met. It's nice to see everybody again. I was invited to the class of 83's 40-year high school reunion. It was very nice of you, all of you, to invite me, especially since I didn't graduate that year. Also attended an all-year reunion at the OK Bakery, where I got to see some of Wheeling's police, Wheeling's finest, doing their job in an amazingly patient and exceptional way. Issues with patrons, I think. Last night was the Korean Cultural Center's 13-year anniversary party. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet. And the Wheeling front, we're doing very well here. If there are no other comments, I need a motion to approve the bills as presented for September 14th through October 11th.
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. Second.
Second.
Trustee Rufato, roll call, please.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, there is an executive session this evening for the purposes of the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee or employees of the village, purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, and collective negotiating matters between the public body and the employees or their representatives. I need a motion to recess into executive session and to adjourn the regular meeting.
So moved.
Trustee Papantos, second.
Second.
Trustee Vito, roll call, please.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Rufato?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, please note there will be no business conducted after the executive session. This meeting is adjourned. Recessed, I should say, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's take it in the executive session room in